This movie sucks. Biutiful, released in 2010 and is directed by Alejandro Gonzalez Iñárritu, who has also directed such films like Amores Perros, 21 Grams, Babel, Birdman, and The Revenant. So he has made good films before. I don't know what happened here. And this movie is starring Javier Bardem, Liu Jin, Maricel Alvarez, and Nasser Saleh. And the reason why we're talking about Biutiful today is because it was a PayPal recommendation and donation from one of my longtime subscribers and contributors on this channel. Name the Stars, thank you very, very much for the recommendation. And again, I appreciate all your contributions. You have been a huge fan of this channel and supporter of me, and I've actually loved a majority of the films that you have recommended to me. This one, though, was 2.5 hours of nothing. What happens here? Javier Bardem plays a medium slash human trafficker of illegal immigrants, and he learns that he has cancer. So Javier Bardem spends the majority of the movie figuring out how to make sure his kids are well taken care of after he dies, because he supposedly has months to live. Also in here, he needs to deal with finding jobs for his illegal Chinese immigrants, and his partners that he is with in this movie they're gay, so that's a thing. And then Javier Bardem, like I said, is also a medium, so he can see into like the other realm and communicate with dead people. So that's how he makes kind of a lot of the money. So he gets the money and he gives it to one of the illegal immigrants that he's taking care of. He gives it to her and has her be like the caretaker for his kids, who supposedly goes off either on a train or maybe metaphorically comes back and his kids are well taken care of. And then he sees his dad in the afterlife and there's snow everywhere. And that's beautiful. Let me just say that I've seen a couple of Iñárritu's films before, in particular Birdman and then also The Revenant, and I love those films. I actually really enjoy them, especially The Revenant. That one, I think, is magnificently shot, and I love the revenge story. I love the performances. Birdman, it's a little weird. I watched it this year for my ranking of the Oscar films of the 2010s. It's strange, but again, we have great performances, and the whole continuous, or seemingly to be a continuous non-cutting of the entire film with all these characters, I think is very intriguing, and it was great. This movie, though, reeks of pretentiousness. To me, this is the definition of farting. Like, ripping. Like the worst smelling fart that you have ever done before. Taking a big whiff at it in, and just really loving the smell of your own brand. Being just like, yep, this is great. This is fantastic. When everyone else around you is smelling it and going, oh my god, this is the worst thing ever. But you're the man in charge, so we'll do what you say, but my god. What the hell is the story here? What is the point of this movie? And I guarantee the reasons why it's called Biutiful is because it's a naturalistic film. It's set in naturalism, so it's a real-life, slice-of-life look at someone going through hard times. And this is what would actually happen, and people are actually doing this in real life. And yeah! And I like naturalism, I like slice-of-life stories, but in doing so, you have to make it entertaining, and there has to be a story there for an audience. I don't want to go into a film that has a naturalistic sense and just watch someone live out their last couple of days without there being a purpose to it. And don't give me the bullshit of, well, that's just life. A lot of people feel that, well, there is no purpose to life. You're kind of just here and then you're gone. That is bullshit. Is that true in a lot of people's lives? Yes. But this is a movie. Movies are meant to be entertaining. It's supposed to provide you a way of escaping from real life. And that's the dichotomy that naturalism has when it comes to the entertainment business. But here it is, and Inarritu is just like, yes, this is a slice of life, and this is beautiful, and you see a lot of terrible things, and yes, it's terrible, but that's life, and life is beautiful. That's why we call this movie Biutiful. It's bad when the movie really wants me to just slap the director across the face. Because I know exactly what they're going for, and the pretension that I see behind every single shot in this movie without any direction. We are not progressing to anything. There is no story here. Is it well performed? Is it well acted? Yes. Of course, that's what actors do. They get a script, and they connect with, they empathize with the character, and they present it and perform it on screen. That's what they're supposed to do. Javier Bardem is fantastic in this movie. He gives a great performance. But the story and the purpose behind the movie is not Javier Bardem's job. It's the director's job. It's the writer's job. And what the writer and the director have created here is a pile of bullshit. The movie begins and ends with the exact same scene. Why? Because it's artistic. The entire time watching this movie, that is all I am getting. That's all of the feelings that I'm getting from this movie, is that Inarritu is sitting there watching this thinking like, yep, I'm getting an Oscar for this. This is dramatic. This is art. The Academy loves artistic dramas like this. I'm going to get a statue from it. I've never felt a film that felt like people had their noses up so far up their own asses before. It's just, I wish I could get this 2.5 hours back. Autumn Blood, Name the Stars, I know you recommended this movie, and I think you recommended it from a side of that you extremely loved it. I'm sorry, I am just not there. This movie is terrible. Is it shot well? Absolutely. The cinematography here, again, is that slice of life, that naturalistic feel, that naturalistic tone. The color palette feels very naturalistic. It looks great. The performances are also great. But the number one thing that I look for in a movie is, what is the purpose? What is the story behind it? And this film doesn't have a story. Our main character gets cancer and then is trying to figure out a way to take care of his kids. He has a lot of money stored up, and he's just worried about dying. Okay, what's the rest of our journey here? I kind of wanted to reach into the screen, find the character, and just slap him across the face, like, yeah, okay, fucking deal with it. And then there's a side plot that he's a human trafficker, like he's trying to get illegal immigrants jobs so that they can make their own living and that they can save up money so that they go out and really have a life for themselves and buy a place and get an actual job that they can raise a family in. And then he has two partners with that who have a relationship with each other. And then it gets to the point where one of them wants to kill the other one because something happens to the illegal immigrants that I won't... Well, you know what? I am going to spoil it because I don't want anyone to watch this movie. Javier Bardem buys a bunch of gas heaters to help them with the cold because all of these immigrants are sleeping in this same big warehouse in this one tiny little room in the basement. So he gets all of these heaters and, you know, to get them warmed up. And they're like, yeah, thank you. But the gas heaters malfunction, and one morning they come in and all the immigrants are dead from carbon monoxide poisoning. So they hire someone to take all the bodies and just dump them into the ocean, and eventually all the bodies just wash up on shore, and then the two partners who are in love with each other, one of them decides to kill the other one. Who kills who? I couldn't tell you, because frankly, the whole storyline doesn't play into anything here. And then the ending of this movie, the caretaker, the immigrant, who is actually looking after Javier Bardem's kids, like, Javier Bardem gives her all of his money that he has saved up and says, here, this is for you, this is for my son, this is for my daughter, and I am trusting you with it to give it to them. So she takes it, and then she goes to the train station, and then we cut back to Javier Bardem, and he's laying in bed, dying, and supposedly, maybe we see her come back. We only see a silhouette of her, though, and hear her voice, but he's on drugs and taking chemo to help ease the pain, and he hallucinates with that. So it could easily be interpreted that that was a whole illusion, and the caretaker just took off with all of his money, therefore leaving his kids kinda screwed. I guess looking up an interview with Inuritu, he was like, oh no, that was the intention of her coming back. Like, I never intended that to be ambiguous. It was meant to be, oh yes, she came back, so his kids are taken care of. Yay! Well, I'm sorry. For me, and for a lot of people who watched that movie and watched that scene, were like, this feels very ambiguous. And I don't know, I feel like she came back, but she could have easily not come back because he was hallucinating, how she was shot. I mean, how you as a director did not see the ambiguity behind how you were telling that story is mind-boggling. This movie sucks. It is terribly directed, it is terribly written. We have fantastic cinematography, we have great performances. But if at the end of the movie I ask myself the question, why the fuck did I watch this? That's not a good sign. There should be a purpose or a message that I take away from every single movie that I watch as an audience member. And if I don't, if I just sit there thinking, wow, I just wasted 2.5 hours of my life is now less beautiful because I watched the movie Biutiful, that's not a good thing. If any of you have not watched this movie, I would implore you, please don't. Don't watch this movie. It is not worth it. It is not worth your frickin' time. Go out. Do anything else. Anything else in this world, and it would have been better than sitting there for 2.5 hours watching this man die of colon cancer, figuring out how to take care of his kids, and then dealing with illegal immigrants that have play into nothing, and partners that play into nothing, that kill each other, and play into nothing. Oh god, this movie's terrible. It is frickin' bad. I'm gonna give Biutiful 1 out of 5 Blu-rays.
What? No!
Alright everyone, now comes my favorite part of my videos where I pick which movie I'm going to be watching next, and we are going to be taking a turn for the comedic side. After watching a long, dramatic, sad piece like this, we're going to go the comedic route and do a recommendation that was sent over to me from James Filbury called Blazing Saddles. From Mel Brooks, an absolute comedy classic. It's one of the best things Mel Brooks has done. I mean, there's an argument that it is the best thing that he's ever done, and there's an argument that this is probably the best comedy of all time. All while dealing with a lot of insensitive, unpolitical correct, racist talk in the movie, but somehow makes it enjoyable and laughable. Everyone laughs at it. And I haven't watched it in a while, and it's always a joy to go back and watch Blazing Saddles. We're gonna check it out next time. So guys, have you seen the movie Biutiful? I really hope you haven't, but if you have seen the movie Biutiful, what did you think about it? Or if you've never seen it before and you stumbled across it because of this video, then comment below and let me know what you thought about it. And as always, if you like what you see here, if you like my take on movies, then hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell. See you on the next time I'm releasing the next movie review. So guys, I will see you next time with my review of Blazing Saddles. So in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.